Hello, Boone County. This is your Superintendent, Matt Turner. I'm here to talk with you about school safety. In light of recent events in Texas and other places around our country, school safety is a very important topic to all of us, to all of our parents, all of our students, all of our community members, and all of our employees. And we want to make sure that our students are safe. So we wanted to talk about student safety at the very big level, at the district level, and all the things that we do to try to work together to keep our children safe. So I have with me Kim Best. Kim is our Assistant Superintendent for Operations. She is also our District Safety Coordinator. And so she works on all matters in regards to school safety and organizes some of the work that we do. So we wanted to talk to her, our expert on school safety, and share that information with you. So I've got a few questions for you, okay. Kim. So what measures does the school district have in place for safety?
So as a district, school safety is something that happens every day in everything we do. It's not just a one-time event. And as a district, we have lots of community partners that we work with in regards to safety. One of the biggest being the Kentucky Center for School Safety. And along with Kentucky Center for School Safety, we also have the Office of the State School Security Marshal. And both of those partnerships are kind of our overarching government as far as school safety. They do lots of the trainings for the schools, they regulate, as well as complete our school audits every year. So each year, from the physical safety standpoint, we have a person who comes from the State Security Marshal's office and visits each school unannounced and does a complete walkthrough with administrators and their school resource officers. That person's job is to identify any areas that they feel we should address in regards to school safety.
So if there are suggestions or areas of concern, they may provide some ideas on this needs to be taken care of, or you may need to address this issue within a building?
Yes. So they can either do things that we have to do that are requirements in order to be compliant, or sometimes they just make recommendations because they've been in the area of law enforcement. Most of the compliance officers are former law enforcement agents, and they've visited lots of different locations. So they're a great resource for making recommendations for school safety.
Okay, let's talk about training. What special training does our school staff receive on school safety each year?
So all of our schools participate in various school trainings related to school safety, whether it's the building administrators. They get some additional training over the summer on the most recent school safety things. And then every year when all staff return, they're required to do an annual update. And in those trainings, they address any new things that are coming out with school safety. They talk about the school safety plan. Each of our buildings in the district has a school safety plan and a school safety committee. And as part of that committee's work, they analyze and reflect upon any school safety issues that come up. They also address incidences when they do drills throughout the year. Part of that school safety committee's job is to look at their drills every time. So if they did a drill, maybe something didn't work well. That safety committee will go back and look at what are some things we could have done better for that. So it is an ongoing process. So that's where safety kind of weaves into everything they do at the school level.
You mentioned all of the drills that our schools do. I know some of our fire departments, some of our other organizations such as the Sheriff's Office, they often come to the schools when we're doing those drills so that they can practice and they can understand how they might respond to an emergency in that particular building should it occur.
Yes, definitely. That's one of the great things that we have in Boone County is our collaborative partnerships with the community, whether it's the Boone County Sheriff's Department, City of Florence Police, the Kentucky State Police is involved with things we do, as well as Boone County Emergency Management. So all of those partnerships will come to our buildings at any time and participate in those drills and offer feedback. Also offer alternatives if we're looking at some alternative routes for if we had a fire drill. So a great partnership there really helps us keep our kids safe.
You mentioned school safety committees. Let's talk a little bit about the district safety committee, because I know they meet and they do some work on the very broad district level for school safety. Talk a little bit about the work they do.
Yeah, so we have a safety working group that is made up of a lot of those community partners that I mentioned, fire departments, local law enforcement, Boone County Emergency Management. We've pulled in lots of community partners as well as our building leaders. So we have some building principals, assistant principals, as well as all of the department staff. And that committee really meets usually monthly throughout the year to really talk about topics in safety that are related to schools. So it could be anything from cybersecurity issues. Our technology department gets involved in that. Looking at physical, the way schools are designed. We talk about those things, and the great partnerships with that Boone County Emergency Management with bringing just new topics about school safety. We also have input from the Kentucky Center for School Safety in that. Lots of avenues to gather information to help us lead our schools.
So you mentioned our district safety committee and school safety committees. Are those open committees where anyone and the public can attend those meetings?
Actually, they're not, and the reason for that is because in each of those meetings, whether it's the district committee meetings or the individual school meetings, they really spend a lot of time deep into their school safety plans and the district safety plan. And there's a lot of information in those plans that we would not want released out to the public, just because that does offer that layer of security if we should have an event at the schools. So they're very active committees, but they are something that we have to keep confidential to protect students.
Right, and the point is that we want to make sure that it's not common knowledge, all the safety features that we have in place for our schools and our buildings here, just so that someone, if they're wanting to harm someone, they would not know some of those things.
Correct, yes.
Okay. So one thing I know that some of our parents and some of our families that might be watching this, they may ask is, what can parents and families do to assist with keeping students safe at school?
That's a great question. One of the biggest things I think parents can do to keep kids safe is really help build that relationship with the school. One of the best things that as a parent is making sure that your students do see your school leaders and the school resource officers as a positive person in the building. We push a lot of the times with kids saying, if you see something, say something. The better relationships that students have with people in the school, they're more open to do that. So definitely making sure that there's open relationships and talking to your kids about safety, what things that they see at school, especially your littlest learners. They're great about telling what happened in the fire drill today. They learn very early on exactly what happens in school safety. So definitely as a parent, just having those conversations with your child.
Very good. Now you mentioned drills in your answer there. Let's talk a little bit about that, because I know every school has certain drills they have to do throughout the year. Do you want to talk about that for a little bit, just so parents are aware?
Yeah, so we're required to do drills as a state mandate throughout the year. And you're probably very familiar with a lot of those. Those are your fire drills, your weather drills, and earthquake drills, as well as lockdown and evacuation drills. So those are things that are practiced on a monthly basis. And the best part of that is that it does, first of all, get students very used to knowing what to do in a situation. Again, as I said, most of our kindergartners by August, end of August, know exactly what to do in a fire drill or in a weather drill. And then it does give you the opportunity to look at your safety plans and make sure that they are addressing the needs. So it's just constantly keeping that school safety on the forefront. It's not something we just do at the beginning of the year. It is a consistent thing throughout the school year.
Great, thank you. So what resources are out there for families or parents to look at regarding school safety?
Great. So as I said, the Kentucky Center for School Safety is probably one of the best resources for schools, but also for parents. They have lots of good resources, pamphlets of different kinds that you can print off and go over with your child, or just great information for parents. One of my favorites on there is the top 10 things that parents can do for school safety. It's definitely one that I recommend reading, and actually, you know, with the things that are happening in the world today with safety, we'll probably be sending that home for all parents at the beginning of the school year this year, just so they can have that extra information.
Great. So one final question. You mentioned all of the drills that we do. What about transportation? Do they practice drills for evacuating the buses?
Yes, they do. So 4 times throughout the year, students all participate in bus evacuation drills, and they use different doorways of the bus. So sometimes they'll do the front door, sometimes they do the back door. The buses do have side doors. And throughout the year, either in the morning or in the afternoon, depending on which area your child lives in, they will practice those drills. So ongoing safety, not just in the building, but also on our school buses.
Great, thank you. Appreciate all your time. Just one final reminder, it takes all of us to keep our students and our staff safe at school, so we need your help. If you see something, say something. We do have a safety hotline that's on our school website, and you'll see it all around our schools. We'll put it on this video as well. And that's a hotline in which you can anonymously or leave your name, share information with district officials. We will make sure that we follow up on that information within 24 hours because our goal is to make sure that we keep our students safe and keep all of our staff safe. Thank you very much.